Hello, I'm Nicola Wren and I'm the writer and performer of a brand new show called Superstar, which is going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this summer. The EdinburghFringe.com have very kindly sent me some great questions to answer about Superstar in the run-up to the Fringe, but because I wanted to do a really professional looking interview, I've actually asked my journalist friend Geraldine if she wouldn't mind reading the questions on their behalf. Geraldine does normally work in kind of property journalism, but I think she's really capable, and so yeah, let's go for it. First question, please, Geraldine.
Okay, got question one. Can you introduce yourself and the show? You sort of already done that, haven't you? What is the top reason people should see your show?
Well, I think there are a few reasons why people should come and see Superstar. It's really honest, it's really funny, and it's very, very relatable. But I think the top reason, if I had to pick one, is that it is just a really fun show.
What does a successful Fringe run mean to you?
I think when you take a show to Edinburgh, it's really important to manage your expectations of what a successful run means. So obviously for me, a successful run would just be sell out, get rave reviews, transfer the show to a major London theatre, get it turned into a TV show in which I can also star, become a huge overnight sensation and never look back. No, realistically, a successful run for me this year will be coming off stage every day, knowing that I've given my all and that I've been totally honest with the audience and made people laugh, and that audiences have a great time and go away and tell their friends about it and talk about the show positively, so that I can just share the story with more people. That'd be great.
Okay, what 3 top tips have you got for Edinburgh Fringe Festival first-timers?
My first tip is to be really nice to the tech people and say thank you a lot. People who work in your venue and who are running the lights and sound and dealing with all the problems. They work all kinds of hours, and having them on side is really never a bad thing. My tip number 2 would be that remember that you've put all this time and money and effort into making a show, and actually you're here to work. So don't feel bad about saying no to going to a certain party or staying out really late. And when your friends come up to visit, just remember that they don't have a show to do the next day and that you're here to further your career. Unless you're not, which then go crazy. My third tip is that even if it gets really hard, you've got rubbish reviews, no one's coming to see the show, but 4 people come one day, just give them the best show you possibly can every single day, because they've still spent their money and their time coming to see you, and they want to see something good. And also, as my dad says, you never know who's watching.
As Chris Martin from Coldplay? Right. As Chris Martin's sister, do you think that people hold you to a higher artistic standard than would be the case if you didn't have a famous sibling?
Well, this is a really interesting question because I actually don't really know the answer, because Superstar is the first time I've ever spoken about my brother being Chris Martin on the stage before, and usually I've done everything I possibly can to stop people from finding out. So I don't know if it makes people hold my work to a higher artistic standard, but I do know that it makes me work a lot harder, and it's given me a drive since I was really young to I think prove that, you know, I'm good in my own right and I'm not just sponging off my brother's talent or whatever. And that's a lot about what the show is about. And so I don't know what other people think, but I know that it makes me work like a little blue-arsed fly.
Okay. What key messages do you hope comes across to your audience?
The key message that I want to come across to my audience is that just because someone told you that your performance as a Liverpudlian dwarf in the village pantomime when you were 7 years old was really good, it doesn't mean you're actually going to be successful. But no, I really want people to come away feeling that you don't need to be a superstar to be worthy of attention and love, and you are enough. But that sounds a bit more pretentious than the other one.
This is a long one. Okay. I love Game of Thrones. In Game of Thrones, Tyrion advised Jon Snow, never forget what you are, for surely the world will not. Make it your strength, then it can never be your weakness. Armour yourself in it, and it will never be used to hurt you. Is this also good advice for the sibling of a celebrity?
Okay, I need to watch Game of Thrones. I love this quote. Thank you very much to the EdinburghFringe.com for writing it, because it's really interesting, because I don't know if it's great advice for a celebrity sibling. I think it's just a great advice for anyone about owning who you are and using it to heighten your life rather than take away from it. I can speak for myself in that I think it's a realisation I've come to in the last year or so. I've spent 20 years of my life since Chris got famous trying to hide it and worrying that people would only be interested in that, and that, you know, people are going to judge me and that it's not cool to talk about it, and, you know, I kind of have to hide it. But then I sort of realised that there's not really much point in doing that. It doesn't make me very happy, and it just kind of takes away from my life rather than adds to it. So Superstar for me it's about all of my siblings, and it's about a greater experience than just being Chris Martin from Coldplay's little sister. But it is also me embracing the fact that Chris is my brother and using it in the way that I do have a unique perspective, you know, from seeing him become famous whilst I'm sort of struggling to pay rent and stuff. And I think it just makes for an interesting story, and I'm really just so relieved in a way to be letting myself talk about it and letting myself be honest about who I am and what I'm doing. So yes, it is my shield, but it probably won't protect me, because I'm sure it'll make some people think that I'm a loser.
Oh, has your brother Chris been to see your shows, and will he be coming to see you perform in Edinburgh this summer?
I'm very lucky in that all my family are very supportive and try and come and see my shows whenever they can. But Chris, I think, came to see my first show, and I read the second one, and I don't know if he'll come and see Superstar because of times or whatever. I don't know. But he's read it and is really supportive of it, as are all my siblings. Although not all of them have read it, because it's about quite a lot of them.
How are you promoting the show in the run-up to the Fringe? Feel free to mention social media. Oh gosh, I don't think I'm supposed to say that bit.
The way I'm promoting Superstar is just to talk about it a lot, do previews, invite people, tweet about it via my Twitter account, which is @Wren Nicola, WREN Nicola. And yeah, do interviews like this.
Lastly, do you want to tell us where and when we can see the show?
So you can see Superstar at 5:30 from the 1st to the 25th of August at Underbelly Cowgate in the Iron Belly. If you're not in Edinburgh and you're in London, then you can see previews on the 23rd and 24th of July at 7:30 p.m. at the Hen and Chickens Theatre. I'm also doing an early work in progress on the 27th of May at 3 p.m. at the East Village, Stratford, have a festival called the Little Theatre Festival, and I'll be trying out the material there. So yeah, please come along to any one of those, and do say hi afterwards if you enjoy the show. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was an absolute pleasure.